Folks, welcome back to Sleep with the Lights On. In this week's bonus story, we are diving into yet another haunted mirror story. Christian said they're his favorite of all time. They've actually convinced him that everything in the paranormal realm exists. How do you feel about that?
I feel you were incorrect.
Oh, wow. You're gonna take it back, dude? Weird.
I am.
First the racial slurs and now this. What's with this guy?
But that's because of the haunted mirror you have sitting next to me. I didn't say any of that stuff.
That's right. Those of you that watched the episode yesterday, which I'm assuming all of you, because it'd be really weird if you just watched the bonus and not the actual.
It's okay if they watch.
It's fine. I mean, do whatever you want, but you're totally weird. You're totally weird. We're going to make fun of you.
Weird is good.
Fine. That's fine. We're just going to make fun of you.
We make fun of people we like.
That's true. Sometimes we do that. Sometimes we build entire podcasts around it as well.
Thank you.
Yes. That's the one compliment you'll get from me in the entire span of this show. I hope you take it to heart.
Okay. I want to hear the story, Bert.
This week's bonus story is called The Funeral Home Mirror, and it's by Explorer 9118.
Sounds like another bad idea.
Yes, and it is. And while we read the story, if you'd like to stare into your small obsidian mirror, your small black mirror, and see if any demons come out to play, be my guest. No, it's fine. Anyway, let's get into this.
Does that have anything to do with the mirror?
Beauty and the Beast? I don't think so.
Okay. Because
sometimes I just like to freeball it, Christian.
I guess so, man. You just totally skipped the movie that has the mirror in it.
That's fine. Anyway, it goes, I found this mirror in the abandoned Moulton and Kyle funeral home in Jacksonville, Florida.
Leave it there.
Exactly. That's what his friend would say later in the story, if you'd let me get there. I have always loved exploring abandoned places, and this was on my bucket list. I met up with a friend, and we wasted no time and went inside. The place was decaying and falling apart. There was old furniture, caskets, and even...
I'm sorry. It was like the people that once were in there.
Wow.
Sorry.
Wow. There was old furniture, caskets, and even a hearse left behind.
What?
Mm-hmm. In the rubble, I found this mirror. I normally don't take things from the places I explore, but there was something about this mirror. I had to take it. And if you feel that in any way, shape, or form, that's the one sign that you absolutely should not take it.
Especially in an abandoned, creepy place. Yeah.
That's like the worst place you want to take a mirror. Are you kidding me?
Even skeptics know that's a demon calling out to you.
Even believers now know that that's demons calling out to you or some shit. Whatever he just said. Anyway, I had to take it. My friend didn't like the idea. He found it disrespectful.
Very disrespectful.
I didn't listen to him and still took it with me. I hung it in my living room. The next day, my mom and sister came over and told me they don't like it. They said it made them feel lightheaded and nauseous when they were around it. I was skeptical because I didn't feel any of that. I thought they were just feeling that way because they knew where I got it from. A couple days later, a friend of mine comes over and is immediately drawn to the mirror. I stepped out for a second to answer a phone call, and when I came back in, I see him staring into it as if he was in a trance. I put my hand on his shoulder to ask him if he was okay, and he jumps back and backpedals toward the kitchen. He was breathing hard and on the brink of tears. He told me he saw an elderly version of himself mouthing words with shadow figures swaying back and forth behind him. He left and has refused to come back. I thought it was all in his head until last night. I was laying on my bed, and then I hear footsteps in the living room. I get up to check and see nothing. I was alone. As I was walking back to my room, I stopped and stood in front of the mirror. I looked directly into it. Almost instantly, I felt like I was in a daze. I began seeing a black mask cover my face from left to right. Then I see a hand reach over my shoulder and wrap around my neck. I snapped out of it and ran to my room. My whole body was cold, and I felt a stinging sensation on my neck. I was terrified, but fascinated at the same time. I didn't sleep. I was thinking about it all night. I waited for the sun to come out and then put the mirror in my shed. I've told people about my experience and they tell me to get rid of it. I understand why they would say that, but I feel oddly attached to it. I feel like it has something to say, and I want to find out what it is because I'm a moron.
You added the last word.
I added that last one, clearly, yes. If you think that an inanimate object has something to say to you and you want to hold on to it to find out what it is, mistake number one. Actually, mistake number two, because mistake number one was bringing that mirror home. Mistake number 2 is holding on to it.
I'm going to say that was mistake.
45.
Like there's at least 3 mistakes in here, because the first one was checking out an abandoned funeral home.
Yeah.
There can't be any good vibes left over there, or they would have taken the hearse with them.
Yeah, because that's where all the good vibes stay. You will know us by our trail of mistakes.
That just shows you how everything came to an abrupt end if they left the car there.
Mm-hmm. Like, this place is haunted. Did you see that mirror? Leave it under the rubble. Let's get out of here.
Maybe there was nobody around to say it was haunted. Maybe those people
were dead already.
Looked into the mirror.
They're ghosts, yeah.
And saw themselves in the future with shadow people behind them, taking them to hell.
Took it to a dark place.
Yeah, drag me to hell is what that guy is saying right there.
Wow. Yeah, he's like, hey, I'm on board. Choo-choo. Let's go.
Scary movie, too, but...
That is a great movie. Sam Raimi, classic. Yeah, so that's an interesting one. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm in front of a mirror and I see a black mass start forming along my face and a hand reach out from over my shoulder and start choking my neck, I'm not going to be like, hey, this thing has something to tell me. Let me listen up. I'm going to be like, you know what? I'm going to shatter this in a million pieces and throw it in the river where it belongs.
That's exactly where I would throw it. So it could be discovered 2,000 years from now on, and the demons can come out there.
Yeah.
Because I don't know my descendants that far out.
It kind of reminds me, that story that we had in the episode that dropped yesterday, them taking the mirror to Goodwill is like the most messed up thing you can do with a haunted mirror. Is be like, well, it's not my problem anymore, but it is free for you. So, you interested?
Yeah, it's like when you're playing with a Ouija board, if this was true, and all of a sudden a demon stands up out of it, and you're like, instead of disposing of it the way you should, I'm going to make it somebody else's problem.
Yeah. I'm going to call all my enemies from school and be like, hey, would you like this gift that I'm presenting you? It's a Ouija board. Interested? And they'll say, get out of my way, nerd. How'd you get my number? And that's fine.
And then you just drop it in their window.
Wow.
Like a creeper. And hope for the best.
Wow.
And since they picked on you and ridiculed you, your best might not be for their best.
That is very true. These are all options if this is a weird situation you find yourself in.
Also can be done with mirrors. If you're evil, drop that haunted mirror on your enemies.
And it'll shatter and cut them. Yeah.
Do not physically drop it, because I don't want lawyers.
I heard
on
this
a
on
podcast
spooky
told me
ghost
to do
podcast.
This. No,
yeah.
It's a psychological dropping.
It sounds like we took it in a very strange fecal direction, but okay.
Hey, if birds were real, we would say we took it that direction.
What a way to end the bonus story. Talking about birds not being real. Wow, this guy doesn't believe in ghosts, right? But thinks that birds aren't real.
They're real.
Classic. Now, way to backpedal, like the guy that saw his old reflection. Brought it back around. Way to go, me. Anyway, if you are new to the show, be sure to subscribe. Fresh episodes of Sleep with the Lights On drop every other Friday right here on YouTube. And in the meantime, you can find us on social media at Freaky Deaky Pod. Send in your stories with haunted mirrors or otherwise. If you want a story on Sleep with the Lights On, send it into the gang at thefreakydeaky.com. And we'll get you penciled in there, friends. Until next time, be sure to sleep with the lights off. Wait. No. Sleep with the lights on, for you never know what is lurking in the shadows. I said it just because I knew you remember it this time and you'd get it right. I'm like, nah, not today. Not today. No. You never know what is
lurking in the shadows.
Wow. Very quick and not at all emotionally attached to the story. It's fine. We're not trying to make something dramatic and spooky for our listeners. We just want them to be like, oh, there's
you want
the
me to look
shadows.
in the camera? What is lurking in the shadows?
We'll see you next time. Look in the mirror.
Be scared